Hey guys, what is up? PhD here, and today I have some very exciting news. So remember that timeline poster that Jason showed us yesterday? Well, actually, a group of people, mostly Reddit users, have grabbed all that information and made an actual real-life Kronorium out of it. So, if you are as hyped about this as I am, drop a like down below, be sure to subscribe, and I'll have the link for this Kronorium down in the description so you can go read it for all its glory. So, I want to cover in this video Dimension 63, because this is where a lot of the interesting stuff happens with Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil. Okay, first, Dimension 63, January 15th, 1292. The Great War between humanity and the Apothicons begins. April 14th, 1294. Sir Pablo Marinus is saved from the clutches of a Margwa by 4 unknown heroes. They would later become known as Primus. So that confirms, it's no longer speculation, the king of Dur-Eisendrach is Pablo. Because you'll see why in a couple lines. December 31st, 1299. Together with the Keepers, Primus defeats the Apothicons, bringing the Great War to an end. January 1st, 1300. Before they seemingly disappear from history, Primus instructs the Wolf King to begin building Dur-Eisendrach. February 18th, 1300. Pablo begins documenting the Great War, including all he has learned about the Keepers, Apothicons, and Element 115. Regarding Element 115's power, he notices that a site in northern France contains massive deposits of the element. June 4th, 1300. In northern France, a tomb is constructed to honor the fallen soldier of the Great War. Within it, statues of Primus are constructed to symbolize the hope that if one day a great evil falls upon mankind, they may return. July 17th, 1898. Edward Richtofen's parents die. February 20th, 1905. Takeo Masaki fights in the Battle of Mukden. Sorry if I mispronounced that at all, but August 11th, 1906. Richtofen begins his studies at Heidelberg University under the tutelage of Dr. Maxis. Having lost his parents, Richtofen comes to view him as a father figure. July 3rd, 1912. Richtofen and Maxis join Group 935. June 4th, 1914. Richtofen is visited by another version of himself. Handing him some blood vials, he explains, "You will need this blood. When the time comes, it will protect you," before stepping back through the rift. January 5th, 1915. Maxis invents the Mauser prototype. Okay, so let's go back to June 4th, 1914. That's interesting that we now know that another version of himself, probably the Primus Richtofen, comes, gives him the blood vials, then leaves, so that the Origins Richtofen, who will become the Primus Richtofen, has them. So, and then on January 5th, 1915, we know the origins of the Mauser, which is what Dr. Maxis created. Okay, so August 28th, 1916, the journal of Sir Pablo Marinus, Knight of the Great War, is discovered by Group 935. March 23rd, 1917. Using information gathered from Pablo's journal, Group 935 begins work at a dig site in northern France, where they discover a series of underground tombs. April 21st, 1917. Group 935 discovers what appears to be the entrance to the tomb's main chamber. They struggle to gain access. May 11th, 1917. Unable to access the main chamber, soldiers listen to a gramophone to alleviate their frustration. When listening to a recording of La Source Noire, Okay, let me edit that out. When listening to a recording of La Source Noire, the entrance to the main chamber unexpectedly opens. The camp's exposure to element 115 begins. May 21st, 1917. So this is all Origins, guys, or what precedes Origins. Using information from Pablo's journal in the tomb's main chamber, Maxis draws schematics for the creation of 4 elemental staffs and instructs Richtofen to begin their construction. Okay, May 29th, 1917. The more Maxis reads of the Great War, the more he begins to question the understanding of the scientific world and the true nature of the universe itself. He finds himself open to the possibility of a higher power. June 11th, 1917. As Group 935 experiences element 115, they successfully create localized energy fields which appear to function as portals. Noting that objects can pass through them, Maxis speculates that the rifts may have opened gateways across space and time. The rifts allow Samantha to reach out to Maxis from Agartha. She begs for help and ultimately reveals she is his daughter. June 15th, 1917. An ancient box with the power to manifest weapons from different eras arrives through a portal. Maxis fears that element 105 is disrupting the space-time continuum. July 1st, 1917. Following the installation of element 115 powered generators, reports surfaced regarding ancient figures emerging from the dig site, corresponding with mysterious deaths of a number of Group 935 soldiers. The ancient figures are undead knights from the Great War. August 3rd, 1917, Nikolai Belensky is sent into exile. September 10th, 1917, using element 115, Group 935 constructs Frey, Odin, and Thor, 3 giant robots who they believe will succeed. Giant robots who they believe will secure victory for the Central Powers. September 22nd, 1917. Richtofen knows that in spite of Group 935's progress at the dig site, he is troubled by Maxis' growing obsession with Pablo's diary. October 6, 1917. Takeo Misaki is dispatched to France by the Emperor to gain intel on Group 935's weapon tech. November 19th, 1917. Following reports of prototype armored weaponry, strange lights in the sky, a mysterious plague, and even giant metal men, Tank Dempsey is deployed in northern France to assess the extent of Group 935's capabilities. December 10th, 1917. Already exiled in Europe, Nikolai receives new orders from the Imperial Russian Army to investigate the enemy war machine. Still loyal to the motherland, he willingly obliges. February 23rd, 1918. Nikolai writes of the ongoing civil war in his homeland. He does not expect peace to last long, but he is enjoying his time in France. March 2nd, 1918. Learning that the Emperor wishes to meet him to discuss a matter of great importance to our nation, Takeo writes that he feels a growing sense of dread in the wake of his recent dark, twisted dreams. April 4th, 1918. Despite ongoing battles, Dempsey fares well in northern France. In a personal letter, he reveals that both the Japanese and Russian armies have also sent spies to investigate the activities of Group 935. May 1st, 1918. Maxis is obsessed with the voice of Samantha, who now speaks to him constantly. He believes her to be the key to everything. May 12th, 1918. Believing that his mentor has been affected by element 115 like others at the dig site, Richtofen reports Maxis' erratic behavior to Group 935 senior staff. May 13th, 1918. Richtofen learns from Pablo's journal that northern France dig site may be the single largest deposit of element 115 on Earth. He believes this is why it has affected so many at the site. May 14th, 1918. Now completely consumed by Samantha's voice, Maxis swears he will no longer serve Group 935's mission. Now that's a surprise. June 4th, 1918. Element 115 awakens the undead knights from the Great War and quickly consumes the camp. Maxis is rendered catatonic by the element. Richtofen removes his brain before he turns. Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo unite with Richtofen on the battlefield and help free Samantha from her imprisonment in Agartha. Primus has been reunited. Samantha sends Primus to their next destination. Maxis' brain arrives in Agartha and Dr. Monty decides to step in. Monty brings Maxis' brain to the house and wipes the Maxis corrupted by dark ether from existence. So that right there, guys, it says Primus has been reunited. Not Primus unites, but reunited. July 18th, 1922. Salvador Sal de Luca opens gambling houses across Chicago. This marks the beginning of the De Luca crime family. February 17th, 1923. Billy Handsome joins the De Luca crime family as a hitman. Sal will come to look at Billy as the son he never had. September 18th, 1923. An expert in gambling and rigging sporting events, Michael Finaleary begins working for Sal. March 23rd, 1924. Finn marries Angelina Bell, an aspiring starlet with the illusion of grandeur. March 1st, 1929. Sal writes of his frustration with Chicago's finest. After many years of successful bribes with the city, it becomes clear that this is no longer an option. May 11th, 1930. Sal begins to work with Albert Al Ardington, an associate in Los Angeles, known for being a master schemer and bank robber. October 10th, 1930. Finn informs his lawyer he will not accept divorce from Angelina, saying she can leave this marriage the day she leaves the earth. October 11th, 1931. After an LA heist for Sal goes wrong, Al wakes up in a hospital. October 28th, 1931. While in the hospital, Al submits Icarus from Mars for publication as a comic strip, and his third attempt, it is denied again. November 11th, 1931. Angry and frustrated with his collapsing empire, Sal kills a prostitute. No longer willing to turn a blind eye, Chicago PD arrests him. December 1st, 1931. In an operation against the De Luca crime family, Billy is arrested for multiple homicides. December 19th, 1931. In an operation against the De Luca crime family, Finn is arrested by Chicago PD when his wife offers evidence against him. January 19th, 1932. Al is arrested for his role in the LA heist. May 14th, 1932. Sal is found guilty of murder. He is sentenced to life in prison at Alcatraz. May 16th, 1932. Billy is found guilty of 116 counts of murder. He is sentenced to life in prison at Alcatraz. May 30th, 1922. Finn is found guilty of 16 counts of gambling fraud. He will serve his sentence at Alcatraz. June 13th, 1932. Sal and Billy arrive at Alcatraz. June 30th, 1932. Finn arrives at Alcatraz. July 1st, 1932. Al is found guilty of grand larceny, grand theft auto, arson, conspiracy, and battery. He will serve his sentence at Alcatraz. August 3rd, 1932. Al arrives at Alcatraz. January 13th, 1933. Ferguson begins working at Alcatraz. April 1st, 1932. Al convinces Sal, Finn, and Billy that they can build a plane and escape Alcatraz. December 2nd, 1933. Realizing the plane will never be completed and embittered with rage, Sal, Finn, and Billy plot to get revenge on Al. December 31st, 1933. Finn, Sal, and Billy lure Al to the roof and kill him. January 11th, 1934. Stepping through a rift, Richtofen secures the blood samples of Sal and Finn. January 19th, 1934. Found guilty of Al's murder, Sal, Finn, and Billy are executed by electric chair. Bob of the Dead. Sal, Finn, Billy, and Al battle waves of the undead as they find themselves trapped in a seemingly endless cycle. April 16th, 1940. Richthofen arrives at Dimension 63, where he locates members of the Illuminati and enlists their help to build a factory facility beneath Alcatraz. What? April 18th, 1940. Richthofen meets with Stanley Ferguson and convinces him to assist with the Illuminati's construction of the Alcatraz lab. July 3rd, 1941. Stanley Ferguson reports that the lab has been completed and that the subjects will be placed in the stasis chamber upon arrival. July 4th, 1941. Richthofen returns to the lab under Alcatraz, where he meets Victus, arriving from the empty Earth with the Kronorium. Upon reading the Kronorium, Richthofen discovers numerous timelines documenting their fates and learns about the blood vials. He would later write on the page, "I know now what I must do." ER 4741. So Edward Richthofen, April 7th, 1941. Or July 1st. No, July 4th, sorry about that. Richthofen enters a rift to acquire the blood of Sal and Finn. After delivering the blood to his younger self and recovering the blood vials belonging to Victus, he returns. Victus is placed on ice to be kept safe until they are needed next. Guys, if you didn't know, from an earlier part, we find out that Victus is a transit crew. Oh my god. So, he needed blood vials from the transit crew as well, not just the mob. Whoa. Okay, July 4th, 1941, so the same day. Primus arrives to collect the Victus blood samples from Richthofen. Following Primus's departure, Richthofen learns the location of the summoning key and travels to his next destination. October 1st, 1943. So, this is a while in the future. Stanley Ferguson leaves employment at Alcatraz. October 21st, 1943. Posing as Mr. Rat, the Shadow Man hires the reporter to recover artifacts from the South Pacific and Russia. December 14th, 1943. The reporter discovers the artifacts from the South Pacific and Russia. Among them is a summoning key. December 25th, 1943. As per Mr. Rat's request, the reporter speaks to Stanley Ferguson, a retired guard from Alcatraz. Stanley gives a detailed account of the death of Al Arlington, the death of Billy Handsome, Finn Leary, and Sal DeLuca. At Mr. Rat's request, the reporter arrives in Morgue City to take in its sights, sounds, and smells. January 15th, 1944. A meteor shower rains over Morgue City. January 30th, 1944. The reporter notes strange mold now growing all over the city. He also notes people are getting sick and acting delirious. February 13th, 1944. A fruit vendor tells the reporter about the ancient order of the Keepers and how they're the only ones holding back the forces of the apocalypse. He talks of people hearing chanting from beneath the city. March 30th, 1944. The reporter sends Mr. Rat a telegram providing details and contact info for Nero, Jessica Rose, Floyd Campbell, and Jack Vincent. April 5th, 1944. Aware of the Shadowman's actions, Monty writes the reporter, warning him not to give the summoning key to anyone. April 10th, 1944. Jessica Rose learns a photographer is in possession of compromising pictures of her. April 20th, 1944. Pretending to be a company executive, the Shadow Man tells Nero's lawyer that Nero's wife has taken out substantial loans in his name. Nero has 15 days to settle before the company seeks reparations. Facing multiple debts due to his wife's spending habits, Nero decides to kill his wife and use her life insurance to pay the debt. April 20th, 1944. Masquerading as an internal affairs officer, the Shadow Man tries to convince Jack Vincent's partner to admit that Jack is on the take. Upon learning that internal affairs is snooping around, Jack plots to kill the snitch who could provide evidence against him. April 20th, 1944. So, all these are on the same day. The Shadow Man poses as a film director interested in hiring Jessica for a leading role. He tells her producer the part is hers. Afraid that the photographer could jeopardize her chance at stardom, she has to meet him so they can sort stuff out. April 20th, 1944. Posing as a journalist, the Shadow Man suggests Floyd Campbell is a journeyman fighter to Floyd's promoter. Wanting to guarantee a shot at the title, Floyd decides to wear brass knuckles under his gloves for his fight with Tony King. April 21st, 1944. Nero misses a call from his lawyer, informing him documents were forged and there's nothing to worry about. April 21st, 1944. Jack misses a call from his partner, saying he has his back with internal affairs and has nothing to worry about. April 21st, 1944. Floyd misses a call from his promoter that the fight was a success and he has a shot at the title. April 21st, 1944. Jessica misses a call from her producer. He says he didn't have a good feeling about the director and it didn't work out. However, he scored her a lead in a musical he and his partner are financing. April 21st, 1944. All the rest are on the same day, guys. So Jessica kills her photographer. April 21st. Jack kills the snitch. Floyd kills Tony King. And Nero kills his wife in a work accident. Richtofen arrives in Work City to secure the summoning key. Now, April 22nd, 1944. Richtofen learns that the reporter has the summoning key and confronts him. The reporter waves Monty's letter at Richtofen and orders him to stay away before attacking him. Richtofen kills the reporter in self-defense. Okay, so April 25th, 1944, which is Shadows of Evil. And we all know what happens. So they trap the Shadow Man in the summoning key, but before they can hand it over to the keepers, Primus Richtofen arrives and steals the key. Richtofen travels dimension 2002-10 to secure an innocent Richtofen soul. He delivers the soul to the house. From within the summoning key, the Shadow Man states, "I'll be seeing you." ... April 26, 1944. The Apothicons destroy Dimension 63. So guys, Dimension 63 has so much more than we thought. From that information, it seems that Origins is also in that same dimension. What? Like, look at that. All this information. At first, I just thought it was Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil. I thought that was Dimension 63. But I had no idea that all this was involved with Dimension 63. Now this is amazing. If you enjoyed all this new storyline information, guys, that was only 1/3 of the Kronorium itself. The Kronorium that was made is 41 pages long. So if you want another video, guys, about all the storyline information, I will be sure to bring it to you. Remember, smash that like button, comment what part of the Kronorium you want next, and be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.